New York Governor Andrew Cuomo announced Monday that indoor dining at New York City restaurants will reopen at 25% capacity beginning this Friday, 2 days earlier than the previous announced date of February 14th, according to Fox News. Cuomo acknowledged the pushback he received from restaurant owners who wanted to be able to fully prepare for Valentine's Day and take advantage of the full weekend. Starting on Valentine's Day, February 14th, Cuomo said that the New Yorkers with comorbidities could begin making appointments online to get vaccinated at a state mass vaccination center. Appointments will be available starting on February 15th. Not ready for this. I think this is a bad move. You think about Valentine's Day, it's the people you want to go out with your family and your friends, and I'm not trusting. When you think about restaurants, you have to worry about how long does it take or how soon are they going to clean out the booths where you sit, the tables where you sit, how clean will the dishware be, the silverware, be at that point. All I'm saying is, I don't like this. I think it's too soon. I think we're getting too happy because vaccinations are available.
Yeah, I mean, everything can be bleached clean, and then a person with COVID-19 six feet away from you, and the ventilation system blows their breath over to your table.
Even
like
from a lab.
This doesn't make any sense in the fact that people are all going to be unmasked and restaurant workers have to be in the room with them.
Yeah.
So we were to hypothetically speaking here talk about outdoor dining that we have in California. At first I was just kind of like, okay, this is ridiculous, but then I'm just kind of like, it's hot for us majority of the year. So we have the option to sit outside. I don't agree with the indoor dining, but I can understand also why New York people, like I said, I'm not agreeing because I think it's a terrible idea. We have the option to stay outside in California, so we don't have to even deal with the indoor dining. But I also feel like it's cold in New York, so I could see why, lawmakers and the governor and whatever the mayor,
I could afloat.
But it's for Valentine's Day though, that I don't think it's a good holiday to do it for Valentine's Day.
No, not at all.
All right, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention Director Rochelle Walensky is urging states against lifting coronavirus restrictions, citing the ongoing virus threat and more contagious variants on the rise, despite lower case counts overall. Walensky was asked at a White House press briefing about Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds ending the state's mask mandate, as well as social distancing requirements for bars and restaurants last week. She said, "I would discourage any such activity. We are still in the first 100 days where we want certainly everybody masked for the first 100 days. She added, "We have yet to control this pandemic. We still have this emerging threat of variants, and I would just simply discourage any of those activities. We really need to keep all of the mitigation measures at play here if we're going to get control of this pandemic." While Iowa has drawn attention for one of the more drastic steps, as we just mentioned, other states are also easing restrictions, even if it is in a more gradual way. I'm curious, would you feel safe anywhere, if, Governor Newsom came in and said, no more mask mandate? How would you feel?
No.
This would be horrifying for me.
I would be absolutely terrified, Brooke. I love my mask. I literally love my mask. I have them in so many different colors. I have mask filters.
I don't ever want strangers to breathe on me again in my life.
I'm
like,
telling
what?
you, literally the thought of having a birthday cake and breathe. We talked about this, breathing on the birthday cake. I told you I watch movies all the time, and I just see people just walking, randomly. I'm just like, how did we do that? I love wearing my mask. I love it.
It's life-saving in some cases if you think about it. So if they said this, I would stay in the house even more so. Pretty much right now, we come to work and we go back home. That's what we do.
Yeah.
We do it for us, our family, and we do it for you, soulmates, because we don't want to be out there in the midst of this. So if they were to green light the city like that and just open it back up with the springtime right around the corner and the way people love to come to here, Los Angeles, no, I'm good on that.
Right,
Well, I think I would just be that person that just wears the mask. Just be like the one with the cute mask everywhere you go. And people are like, why? Well, you don't need this. It's like, don't worry. I'm going to just keep my mask on.
So
and
when
my
fall comes around and we are past it, are you guys still going to wear the mask? Are you going to feel a connection that you still have to do that?
Yeah.
I'm going to be vaccinated once fall comes around. So there's that, but I am still going to wear a mask.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm just I have that paranoia that I don't know, I feel like I'm still going to wear my mask for sure.
I feel like Tokyo has had this right this whole time.
They've been on it, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't we breathe on each other?
I know. Okay, now moving forward here, you guys. Now, the mayor of Tampa on Monday expressed frustration over a growing number of videos emerging showing crowds of Buccaneers fans celebrating the team's Super Bowl win. while not wearing masks or practicing social distancing. That's what we're talking about here today a lot. Now, it is a little frustrating because we have worked so hard, Mayor Jane Castor said during a news conference, adding, at this point in dealing with COVID-19, there is a level of frustration when you see that. Days before the game, Castor put in place an order mandating people in the city's downtown entertainment district and in the event zone near Raymond James Stadium to wear a face covering at all times. The order came with the fine of up to $500 for noncompliance. Officials in the greater Tampa region said that they have been concerned about the public health consequences resulting from massive parties and concerts planned around Super Bowl week. This isn't how we should be celebrating the Super Bowl, the mayor of St. Petersburg tweeted over the weekend, reacting to news of a rap concert put on by 50 Cent. It's not safe or smart. It's stupid. We're going to take a very close look at this, and it may end up in costing someone more than 50 Cent. Here is... we talked about this, right, before the Super Bowl, guys. Like, what did you expect to happen? You're having, it's a money grab. Like, again, I'm a DJ. I've been a promoter and things like that. This was a time for people that have been on, furlough, not making money, to make some money. Like, I know people, friends of mine that threw parties in Florida. I saw a lot of friends of mine that were in Florida that didn't even go to the Super Bowl, that were just there for the parties. Like, what did you expect to happen? Like, hold on, Romeo, let me ask you a question real quick, Romeo. Remember when I asked you last week when I was like, well, how are we so upset about the NBA All-Star game when you have the Super Bowl? And everybody was like, oh, well, this is the ending of football. It is the same thing. A big event is going to draw lots of people.
Right, but you got to have the end of the season. They got to have a Super Bowl.
You don't have to.
But at the end of the day, no, you can. But, it's a money thing and it's a business thing at the end of the day. But, let's talk about what happened in Los Angeles when the Lakers won and the Dodgers won. We had the same problem, and COVID-19 numbers went up after that little get-together they had, the little celebration. I feel like I knew this was going to happen in Tampa. Florida's always been an issue. I'm not hating on Florida, but y'all have your own rules some of the time. And when you run that video back and you see how many people are walking around and hanging out without a mask, those numbers are going to show up.
But
soon.
Romeo, let me ask you. Go ahead, Rom.
Well, there were 20,000 people in the stands at the Super Bowl. And so, even though, you've got all these precautions and this and that, people see that and think it's lit. Like, that's it. They see that and we've seen so many examples of selfish people taking notes from their government, taking notes from what they see and going with that. And they felt okay. And we were comparing the players having to play in an extra game that means nothing compared to a game that means everything. I don't think fans should be in any of those. Having fans at the Pro Bowl is even crazier than having the players play this extra meaningless game. I mean, not the Pro Bowl, the All-Star game. Yeah, because they didn't have the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
But so I see what you're saying to me. But this is just about, for me, the fans. Why? There's so many, and you were okay with 20,000 people.
That's true.
By the way, the production team loved it when you said lit. Just want to let you know. The Disney California Adventure Park in Anaheim, California will reopen in March for a limited time ticket experience, the company said on Monday. A letter to employees obtained by Good Morning America indicated that as many as 1,000 employees will be called back to work for a distinctly Disney experience that features world-famous food and beverages offerings from around the resort, the latest merchandise, and unique, carefully crafted entertainment experiences. It wasn't clear which parts of the park would be open to guests, and a request for comment from Disney representatives will not immediately return. The park closed last March in the face of COVID-19 pandemic and is yet to reopen. Now, we already know that I think Disney's lost, they say, close to $7 billion. That's the number they're throwing out there since COVID-19. Again, we're getting way ahead of ourselves. You're saying you want to do this in March. You're asking people to come out. They're excited. They want the park to open back up. They're looking for a reason to get back outdoors. And when you mention that, I don't know how they're going to set up, who they're going to let in there, how they're going to put that together, who gets to go inside. But people will travel from all across the country to be a part of this.
Well, true. Disney does, with all of their brands, from the restaurants to hotels and everything, brings in on average $19 million a day. You have people in hospitality. You have all the hotels closed. You have the restaurants closed. You have no money coming in from admission, right? So, of course, they're thinking, how are we going to find a way? They're going to say it's not going to be a long process. It's going to be a limited time. So of course, they're going to do this. You also have 1,000 people. And then they look at it like 1,000 people in hospitality are going to get jobs. I mean, I have a lot of people in hospitality that are gig workers that have been on unemployment, been on furlough. So this is a big deal for them. I looked today, we have almost 5 million people have 5 million, doses have been, inserted into a 5 million doses of a vaccine have been given out. So, I mean, we're close to getting some people vaccinated. I could understand why Disney would want to do this.
Not that close, though. Yeah. Right? We're not that close.
I mean, we're never going to be too close, but I'm just saying they've lost a lot of money, $19 million per day. Of course, they're going to find a way to try to make some of that money back.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, the interesting thing is at least it's outside.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. It's outside.
I still don't like it.
I'm not going out.
I don't like it. It's a gathering.
I mean, I'm not going, but I think, Brooke, that you make a great point that it's outside. We're having vaccinations coming in California. Disney needs to make their money back, so,
But it's March. No. Okay.
That's next month.
This is a tragic story. A woman has died of Ebola in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Officials at the World Health Organization released a statement reporting this new case and the warning of more while the country is still grappling with the challenges presented by the COVID-19 pandemic. Although the Ebola outbreak was declared over last June, a resurgence has reportedly been detected in Butembo. Now, that's a city in the North Kivu province of the DRC. Butembo was one of the hotspots during the previous Ebola outbreak in the eastern DRC. WHO epidemiologists have reportedly already been deployed to the site, but they note cases are not unusual following a widespread outbreak. More than 70 contacts with the infected individual have been identified. The DRC has seen a bevy of Ebola outbreaks, the most recent of which claimed more than 2,000 lives. The New York Times reporting that this woman was the wife of a farmer who actually survived the disease. And not surprising, she died 3 days after she started showing symptoms. Ebola is, we all know, one of the most deadly, one of the most contagious diseases. So this is terrifying.
Yeah, it's almost like the perfect storm with this happening and, of course, with COVID-19 still being out there. And a lot of people may say, Roman, you're so negative. You don't want Disneyland. You don't want the indoor restaurants. I have family and friends that have passed away to the coronavirus. Okay, my sister is finally getting on the better side after testing positive for COVID-19. So I take this very seriously. And now, look, the first case was back in 1976, and the fatality rate of Ebola then was 88%. This is the 9th outbreak. So I'm hoping they get quick control over this. And we got the right people in administrations, if it does get out of hand, that will handle it properly.
I agree with you, Romeo, that I think that, based on the fact of what's going on right now with COVID-19, that they would be a little bit more on top of it. And Brooke, when I read the story, for some reason, I missed the fact that she died. So thank you for the emphasis on that. But, back in 2019, the FDA approved a vaccine for Ebola called Ervebo, unless something else happened. But, what I've read that, this was approved, and it was approved to be 100% effective. So I'm curious to know, maybe it was too late, but I'm, curious to know why that she wasn't able to have that when she found out that she had it. Maybe it was too late.
Absolutely be looking into that. And I know, officials are worried that this is still happening, even though there are treatments and vaccines. And what scares me the most about this is healthcare workers. They travel to work on this and they get sick.
Yes.
It's really easy for them to get sick. We saw it here in America back when we had an Ebola outbreak. So,
yeah. Okay, so checking in with our YouTube soulmates. One of our soulmates says Tampa was acting up at the Super Bowl parties. We saw him on Instagram. We saw you. All right, another one of our soulmates says, what's up, family? I'm here. Better late than never. We're happy that you're here joining us. One more of our soulmates says, hopefully we'll be free and clear from this pandemic by the time I turn 60. We don't know how old she is, so hopefully, that's not too long, but we love you and we're happy that you're here and we want to get this pandemic under wraps.